Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our journey through the Bible. Today, we're diving into Leviticus, specifically chapters 17 and 18. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Leviticus? Isn't that the book with all the complicated rules? And you're not wrong, but stick with me, because there are some incredibly profound and relevant truths hidden within these ancient texts. Let's unpack them together. Chapter 17 starts by establishing a central principle for the Israelites. All sacrifices must be brought to the tabernacle. Why was this so important? Well, it wasn't just about logistics. This rule was designed to prevent the Israelites from falling into idol worship. Out in the wilderness, it would have been easy to slip back into pagan practices, offering sacrifices to goat demons or other false gods in the open field. By centralizing worship, God was teaching his people that there is only one true path to him, a single holy place where atonement could be made. It was a powerful lesson in focus and devotion, reminding them to direct all their worship and gratitude to the one true God who had delivered them. Then, the chapter moves on to a topic that might seem a bit strange to us today, the prohibition against consuming blood. The text is very clear. For the life of the flesh is in the blood, and I have given it for you on the altar to make atonement for your souls. This is a cornerstone concept. Blood represented life itself, a sacred gift from God. By forbidding its consumption, God was teaching a deep respect for life. Furthermore, he was foreshadowing the ultimate sacrifice. The blood on the altar was a temporary covering for sin, pointing ahead to the perfect and final sacrifice of Jesus Christ, whose blood would provide eternal atonement for all who believe. It's a beautiful picture of redemption, woven right into the dietary laws of ancient Israel. Now let's move into chapter 18. This chapter shifts from worship practices to personal holiness and moral conduct, particularly concerning relationships. It lays out a series of laws that define and protect the family unit. These rules might seem obvious to many of us today, but they were revolutionary at the time. The surrounding Canaanite cultures often practiced the very things this chapter forbids. God was calling his people to be different, to be a holy nation set apart. He was establishing a moral framework that honored marriage, protected the vulnerable, and created a stable, healthy society. These weren't just arbitrary rules, they were instructions for building a community that reflected God's character of purity and order. The chapter ends with a powerful warning and a promise. God tells the Israelites not to defile themselves with the practices of the nations they are dispossessing, because the land itself became polluted by such actions and vomited out its inhabitants. This is a vivid metaphor. It teaches us that our moral choices have consequences, not just for ourselves, but for the world around us. God is essentially saying, I am giving you a fresh start in a new land. Live my way, the way of life and blessing, not the way of the nations that leads to destruction. It's a call to holiness, a call to be a light in the darkness, reflecting God's goodness in every aspect of life. So, what can we take away from Leviticus 17 and 18 today? First, the principle of focused worship. Where is the central place we bring our lives and praise? It's not a physical building, but a person, Jesus Christ. He is our tabernacle, our altar, our sacrifice. Second, the sanctity of life. We are reminded that life is a precious gift from God. And finally, the call to live differently. Just as Israel was called to be set apart from the surrounding cultures, we are called to live in a way that honors God in our relationships and personal conduct. These ancient chapters are not just a list of rules, they are a guide to a life of worship, respect, and holiness that is just as relevant now as it was then. Thanks so much for joining me today. If this was helpful, please give the video a like and consider subscribing to the channel for more explorations of Scripture. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. God bless, and I'll see you in the next video.